Today we are at Gowling WLG's former London office for the 10th annual Nomad conference. In addition to updates from our AIM experts, we are joined by two guest speakers. The CBI's Acting Director of Competitive Markets, Tom Thackray, and Glen Mead, Director at Chimp Management Limited, Associate of Professor Steve Peters, author of the best-selling book, The Chimp Paradox.
My name's Tom Thackray. I'm Director of Competitive Markets at the CBI. So what I wanted to talk about today was the importance of medium-sized businesses in the economy. We tend to talk about them as the forgotten middle. Quite often we tend to use the term SME, which conflates small and medium-sized businesses together. But what we found in our research is that those businesses are very different, they have very different needs, they have very different challenges. So what I was talking about today was how these businesses can actually drive economic growth in the future, the performance that they're currently showing and how we can build on that in the future. I think the presentation was fairly well received. I think there is a growing recognition about these businesses being important, about the need for entrepreneurship in the economy. And I think the audience, being associated with AIM-listed companies, are very much tuned into this concept of high growth, medium-sized businesses. So there were a few questions, and I think it tied in quite well to the Make Way for the Middle report that was launched today as well. The two key things that I think the audience should take away from what I said this morning were firstly that there are these group of medium-sized businesses and there are these fast-growing businesses within the medium-sized business cohort who are fundamental in the economic fortunes of our country. So 6% of medium-sized businesses are creating 60% of the jobs, and that's a really significant amount of growth. So the difference between recession and recovery over the last few years driven by these scale-up businesses. So really just the fundamental importance of those companies is point one. And secondly, what we can do to support them, and the CBI tends to think about the 3 C's, giving them the confidence, the capabilities and the capital to succeed. On the confidence side, it's about giving them an identity, making sure that we're comfortable with people taking risks and occasionally failing. On the capabilities side, it's about making sure that the advice community is set up to give the right support to these businesses, making sure that they're embedded in networks that we all have. And the capital side, it's about the demand and the supply side of that equation. So on the demand side, making sure that businesses who have previously been reliant on one simple form of finance in bank debt are broadening their horizons and thinking about other forms of finance that might meet their needs. And on the supply side, making sure that those forms of finance are developing, so the alternative forms of funding, the growth capital, making sure that those are very prevalent in society and that we have the right structures in place which are going to support those businesses.
Hi, I'm Glen Mead from Chimp Management. I'm the Director of Corporate Programmes. The presentation I'm giving today is all about understanding the way your brain works and the fact that you have an emotional and a rational decision part of your brain. And with this awareness, you can understand how sometimes you might do something that you later regret. You might make a decision that's based on little information, based on a hunch and an assumption, and then your emotions can get in the way. And when the dust has settled and you look back, you can be full of regrets and remorse and maybe get into a pattern of beating yourself up. For people in today's busy economic climate, this is relevant because business is about uncertainty. It's about stress and pressure and targets and deadlines to meet. Some of those you aspire to and you want to achieve them, and there's potential everywhere for you to get emotional about it. And if you know it's going to happen and you can expect it's going to happen, then you can deal with it before the event. Having limited information at hand to make decisions means you've got to make tough decisions, and there'll be an emotional consequence to that as well. But being prepared means doing something beforehand. The two things I'd like the audience to take away from this presentation are, firstly, in order to get the best out of yourself, you need to spend some time looking after yourself, reflecting, understanding the way you think, feel and behave, and recognising when those emotions have risen in the past. And the second thing is to consider that if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling worried about something, it's perfectly normal. So prepare for it, don't beat yourself up, and then be proactive in doing something about it.